We are going to change the order up slightly this evening. The last item on the agenda, Fairlife project located east of Tabor Road. We're going to have that application go first. I'm asking that this applicant keep to 10 to 15 minutes, provide a 50,000-foot overview of the project only. The board is not going to ask too many questions this evening, but we're going to digest what is provided to us this evening. Due to the seeker process, the applicant, we cannot act on the variance until likely the end of August, correct? I believe the town is going to take the lead agency role. Is that correct? Town board?
Town board,
Town board, right? So therefore, this evening we're just going to hear an overview of the project. If there are participants in the audience that are here to learn about the project, we are not going to open it up to public comment this evening, but we highly encourage you, based on what you hear and see this evening, to submit comments through the Webster, Town of Webster portal. On the Town of Webster Community Development homepage. Town of Webster Community Development homepage. You can submit questions or comments on the application. Is the applicant ready to step up? First, I'm sorry, let me step back. Your rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Since we're not going to act on this evening, I don't necessarily think we need to do it in the phase. Yeah? No?
You're hearing it, so you
Yeah.
probably should.
Okay.
Fairlife project located east of Tabor Road, applicant Fairlife Incorporated is requesting area variances to allow an 8-foot tall decorative fence within a buffer area, which is not permitted, and a building height of 120 feet for silos and a portion of the building where a maximum of 50 feet is permitted, associated with the construction of an approximately 745,000 square foot dairy processing facility on a combination of portions of 5 lots totaling approximately 106 acres, having SBL numbers 066.03-1-28.111, 066.03-1-28.113, 066.03-1-18-11.11, 066.03-1-20.1, and 066.03-1-27.214, located in an IN industrial district under section 2695 and 35022 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
We good?
Good evening. Yes.
Thank you. I'm very cognizant of being 10 to 15 minutes. I would like to give you just a very brief overview of Fairlife and the project, and then I'll hand off to Josh, my lead civil engineer, who will walk you through the variance request that we're asking, if that works.
Perfect.
Thank you. Let me introduce myself. I'm the lead engineer for Fairlife and for this project, so it will be my responsibility going forward until the fruition of this project to oversee it and lead it. As I mentioned, Joshua Hoff is the lead civil engineer for our general contractor house school, and he will take the opportunity here to walk us through the actual variances. Fairlife is obviously extremely excited to start this planning process and become part of the town of Webster. We realise there's a long way to go as we go through the diligence, but we are all extremely excited about the production facility and putting that grassroots down here in Webster. Fairlife started out in 2012, ultra-filtered milk, core power, which is a protein shake, and a nutrition blend, which is like a meal replacement. In 2020, we were acquired by the Coca-Cola company. It's our intent to bring somewhere in the region of 250 jobs locally to the area. Our investment is in a region of $650 million. million for this project. Obviously, as I mentioned, pending diligence and approvals. As mentioned, 745,000 square feet is our intent to process in the region of 5 million pounds of milk a day, all of which will be sourced from upstate New York. We recently met with our neighbours and the Webster community with the sole intention of explaining what our intent here is and give an overview of the project, but more importantly, to listen to what our neighbours have to say and provide feedback, and some of that feedback we've already introduced into our plans. So I look forward to presenting our site plan, listening to any recommendations and answering any questions, and with that I'll introduce Josh and hopefully he can walk you through the variances. Thank you.
Good evening. As Aaron said, I'm Joshua Huff. I'm the lead civil engineer with Haskell. And I'm just going to walk you through the site plan first, and then I'll go through the variances as well. So as we've already said, it's about 745,000 square feet. We're going to have two entrances, an auto entrance on the north side, and then a truck entrance on the south side. In the truck entrance area, we do have storage for all the milk trucks that are coming in. So we have queuing of about 15 trucks before they go through the guardhouse. We have a small guardhouse down here. All the milk trucks will come through, go through our scale right here, and then up to the milk receiving. The milk receiving is inside the building, so the trucks will pull in, unload, and they'll do a forward motion all the way through. So we've been able to keep a forward motion for all the milk trucks as they access the facility. Our finished good products, or trucks, will come through, go through the guardhouse, and they'll come here to the north side, and then they'll exit back out. They do have to do reverse because they're going to be working with dogs, but we've tried to minimize as much of the reverse movements as possible. On the east side and also on the north side, you'll notice we have this green shade. This is a berm, and we're doing that to provide some screening for visual, sound, and light. And then we've got our fence located on top of the berm on this section here. If you want to flip to the variance, and then I'll walk through that. That leads right into it. So there's two variances that we're requesting. The very first one is in reference to the fence. So on the east side of the facility, we are adjacent to large lot residential. So it's required that we have a 100-foot buffer, or a buffer yard. And the code states that you can't have a fence within that buffer yard. What we're requesting, though, is that the fence be located on top of the berm so that we can get the maximum effect of screening for the light, for the sound, and for visual. The second variance that we're requesting is for building height, and that's going to be for this section of the building here. This is our automatic storage retrieval system, and then also for the silos down here at the milk receiving. So those are the two variances that we're requesting. Any questions?
Maybe you could just explain the necessity of the height of the building.
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
We start with the milk silos. So the big driver for the milk silos is several reasons, but we wish to keep the milk silos as close to milk receiving as possible, as close to the building as possible, to keep them as far away. If I let's say half the size of the height of the tanks, I double the amount of tanks that I have, which brings me further out to the perimeter of the property, which we don't wish to do. And it also makes our process extremely more complicated because of the addition, doubling the amount of silos. And on top of that, from a carbon footprint point of view, we have a lot more energy use and a lot more water loss as we have to clean and chill those tanks constantly. So that's on the silo side of it. And then on the automated warehouse, by going up, it allows us to reduce our footprint. Without that, our footprint would be quite excessive and moving out towards the perimeter of the edge of the property. So the height allows us to, one, automate the warehouse, and secondly, become a lot more efficient process within it with a lot of automation inside.
So you've looked at the various options in terms of building height. Obviously, you just described that it's going to increase footprint, carbon footprint.
Correct.
encroachment on the buffers and or setbacks.
I wouldn't say encroached on the buffers, but it gets very close to the buffers.
Do you have a site that's similar to this facility closest in the area?
Not in the area. So Fairlife has two other facilities. We have one in Coopersville in Michigan, Grand Rapids, and we have another one in Goodyear, Arizona.
Road trip.
Goodyear is our newest facility, built in 2019. It is a smaller facility, but it does have the silos. It does not have the automated warehouse. That is something that is new for us in this particular project.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Could you just touch on some of your next steps? Obviously, there's a planning process. You've had one initial meeting, you said, with the residences. Could you just, for the record, indicate which residents you met with?
Yeah, so we had two meetings. The first meeting was with our neighbours around the perimeter of the property, mainly to the east, as you look at the page, with our large lot neighbours, but also to the northeast there are some as well. So we had a one-on-one, if you like, with the smaller community, and then that evening we opened it up to a public forum in the high school, and anybody from the town of Webster was welcome to come and get an overview of the project.
And I think you had made mention that you'd incorporated some of the initial feedback into the plan. Did I hear that correctly?
You did indeed, yeah. We've altered we've extended some of the berm, because there was a zone industrial piece down here, but we felt that there's a resident there, so we felt it was the right thing to do to extend that berm and the fencing.
Once again, the intent of this evening was really to hear this as a zoning board for the first time, have you outline at the 50,000 foot level, which I believe you've done, and provided some additional detail. Once again, there's not going to be a public comment portion of the meeting with respect to this application this evening. That will be during the next zoning board. No, August, I guess, is potential target. End of August could be a specific meeting, special meeting. Let's see.
Are there members in the audience here tonight that were specific for this project? I mean, it doesn't prevent any of you, once the applicants are out in the hallway, if they're available and they make time, be more than happy, I'm sure, to discuss any concerns that we have. We don't have to give up the opportunity, so to speak, but officially as a board, we're going to open it up to the public at a future meeting.
No, absolutely. I mean, we did that at the last plan review. We got to speak to some neighbours outside the meeting. We're always willing to do that, of course, all the time in the world.
Okay. All right. Once again, we anticipate hearing the application after the secret process, likely the end of August. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.